Hello again on this other very nice day here in Larchmont. We're back to the Rhone. Somehow we always end up there. This is a Cornas by Tardieu, Laurent, Vieilles, Old Vines, 2003. We've talked a lot about Cornas before, in the Northern Rhone, 100% Syrah, amazing wines, depending specifically on what location and what plot it's from. We've discussed that a little bit. We've discussed also a bit how small the community is and how everybody seems to be either know each other or related to each other, and they've got links going back in history of inheriting and splitting up properties and what have you. Anyway, this is another interesting example, which is why I wanted to buy this particular wine. Dominique, Laurent, and Michel Tardieu really come from a sort of Burgundian négociant tradition. They buy wine and they buy grape and they make great wine. So they try to do the best they can with what they have access to. And they've made great Chateauneuf, great Côte Rôtie, and Cornas over the years. They still make a Cornas, but what's specific about this is up until 2006, they were buying the grapes for this Cornas from Robert Michel and Noël Versé, who, along with Auguste Clapp, if you want, are the big mythical names in Cornas from the previous generation. We've got a new generation now with Allemand and others, but this is the previous generation, if you want. And it was just so in 2003 was a very good year. In the region, in the Rhone in particular, it was very hot here. We've talked about the heat wave in France that year, in the south of France. Then has its own particular impact on the vintage, but overall it was a good year. And then it was just a few years before they stopped getting this juice, if you want, from Versé and Michel, and not very easy to find pre 2005 2006 bottles. So I've found a few. And I also sent one as a gift to my friend Bill, who gave me the Peter Michael wines, and hopefully this is a positive experience for everybody. So anyway, let's see what we have here. The color is pretty dark. It's really, you just don't have that violet, Syrah you have in some of the younger wines there. It's got a little bit of this orange rim around the edge. I think this is aged, definitely. It's an aged bottle, 2003. It could have lasted longer. Maybe it's a bottle, maybe it's just normal evolution. On the nose, you do have a little bit of that sweetness, that sort of Madeira-like extra alcohol that you get when a bottle is beginning to age. When I first opened it, there was just incredible bouquet of really fresh tapenade, olive, and alcohol, and more savory than fruit, which is really the normal evolution, but it was just an incredible nose. I still have that. I still have a little bit of that. Actually, a lot of that. I mean, the nose is really very, very nice. Very. It's not exuberant, but it's got all these layers that really a nice Cornas is supposed to have. A little bit of mentholatum, a little bit of alcohol. Primarily, sort of savory and earth tones rather than fruit still. Let's see what we have. Lots of acidity. It's for whatever reason, that's the first thing that gets to you, that you register. There's a lot of acidity, still some tannins in the mouth, so you got a little bit of that mouth puckering. So on the one hand, you think this wine has aged because of the color. On the other hand, still got that sort of tannin still in the mouth. So I don't know if that's gonna ever go away. You got also, as I said, the acidity. There's not a lot of finish in the back of the throat. I mean, there's still, on the tongue, you still have a very long feeling, if you want. I think the finish is a bit disappointing. And again, between the tannins and the finish, I think the nose is a lot more convincing than the mouth. Now, sometimes it happens. Some wines have just incredible aromatics, and maybe set you up for a bit of a disappointment. Maybe this is a bottle that didn't evolve as well. I've had that experience with other batches of bottles you buy together. Anyway, this is a very high quality Cornas. I like the provenance. I like the story, but I think I was expecting a little bit more. I hope my friend doesn't get too disappointed, but I think this is going to evolve even more over the next couple of days, and we'll see if there's an update to do on this. Anyway, another really interesting story, an interesting product and combination from the best of Cornas, and have a good afternoon. See you guys.